Then I can send this to you guys.
Thank you.
All right, so let's start with creating a reservation. So like I said, you can go to the reservation tab on the top, create a reservation, and it's going to take you right here. It's going to default to you, and then you can back.
We can use Roxy. That's my mom. Roxy, if you look, you can use her and we can make a mock one under her name.
Okay,
Make a mock.
yeah, I'll
Or
just
use
cancel
my
it
name.
later. Yeah, that's fine. Just yeah, we can just yeah, because is she in the system already?
Yeah, that's why I said you could choose her if you wanted to.
Okay,
Me or
cool.
my mom were both in it.
All right, so you see your options here. You got air, you got bus, car rentals, cruising, um, hotels, and that would include all-inclusive hotels, insurance, shore excursions, everything's pretty much right here.
Oh, this is the first time I'm paying attention that I see that we do the insurance under there too.
Oh
I
yeah, and
okay.
you can actually book travel insurance through Agent Mate. It's connected to Travel Guard.
So when somebody calls and they want the insurance, I could just go in here, create the reservation, and then search.
Yep, you can quote them, and I can show you. I can show you that.
Okay.
All right, so let's keep this simple, I guess, and let's just
Yes.
do hotel. Then you can pick your vendor. I'll just pick who's a good one. Oops, it's not what I wanted to do.
Marriott, Hilton. I don't know. They're common ones.
Yep, let's just pick that. Now remember, when you're doing this, you've already gone to the vendor site. To your point, you maybe you went to Vax or you went to Pinsite, wherever you found your hotel. You get the confirmation from whatever you quoted on, and you can put it here. For now, I'm just going to put a bogus number in here, but you can put a bogus number in there at the beginning if you know, and then change it to the true one later. It's up to you. But this is where the true hotel confirmation number comes from,
Because that's
depending on
how you
whatever
guys are
vendor.
going to see it. So when you compare it, you need to have the correct confirmation number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. How many people's traveling? Go up to 8. We'll just leave it at 2. The why'd they book? Again, you could it's whatever you said. It could have been through, a business contact, family and friends. It could have been the email marketing, like when I send you the ones that I get from travel leaders.
Yeah,
You
that's email.
know, yeah. So there's no wrong answer. You can see all the different options you have here. So whatever it falls in, you put it there. A lot of times I say friends and family because a lot of us get referrals,
Yeah.
repeat family. Yeah. All right. And then here is where you would actually search and add your clients. So what was you said Roxy?
Yeah. I.e.
Is she in here? Hold on 1 second. 1 second. I just want to see if it pulls it up because it should find it.
That's his.
Yeah, that's me. I'm just trying to see like if it's gonna pull up the because it should, if they're in the system, it should find them to where you don't have to type all of this information out again.
Right. Well, I know Rox is in there because Rox has traveled
Yeah, lots of times.
3 or 4
Yeah.
times.
So let's do it this way.
Her last name is Libran.
Here we go.
There she is. That's her.
And we'll just add me. It doesn't matter at this point.
Mhm.
So yeah, if you type in the box here,
Uh-huh.
we'll find the previous guest. And if you're creating a brand new one, meaning you never put them in the system, then that's when you would, add them manually. But it should find them if they're already in the system.
Right. And in a perfect world, we should have them in the system before we even.
Yeah. Like I said, when I talk to folks, as soon as if they're interested, I get all the information up front, get them in the system. So when it's time to actually pull the trigger, I got the information. Or even if they change their mind, if for later on, I already got all the information in the system.
Well, this is the part of the secret I'm going to ask you because we've gotten a lot of these people that refer to us, especially to Caroline and you. When we ask them, we get the information because that one those, the first couple ones, that Trish did, they would
Hours.
never give us the billing information. So we caught the deals. I-
You said the client never gave you the billing information?
Right. And she went through months of research and I told her, I said, stop. If they don't give us the billing information from the beginning, we're not playing with them.
Agreed, because I agree with that because a lot of times these people will use you as a search engine because they're too lazy to do it themselves. So
Right.
they'll come back over and over and over again. When you see people like that, cut them off. Be done with it because they're only going to use you as a search engine.
So what's the art behind asking them up front for the card before you even search? How do you do that?
Yeah, so we got to find out how serious they are for one.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, I would give them one chance. Like, hey, I'm gonna give you a quote. You can send them a quote through the vendor site or however you want to do it. And and at that point, like I said, you say how interested are you in this trip? If you are, then I'm gonna need XYZ information to kind of get you started because I want to get you in our database. That's the first thing I start with, is I want to get you in a database so you can start to get, future, promotions and deals and things of that nature. Because I have it set up in AgentMate for my clients where every month they get an automatic email depending on what they're into. So for example, I'm in here and I like cruising. So anytime there's a deal on a cruise, I'll automatically get an email telling me about, kids sale for free or whatever. So I kind of sell it to them like that, where let me get you into my database so that even if you're not interested in this trip, you'll be, notified for any future deals.
Awesome.
Let's do, we'll just put anything here right now. It doesn't matter. So once you get all the people here, you can put the exact hotel name, the check-in dates. We'll just keep it simple. To the 3rd. Now, if you had any sort of accommodation types or rates that you got from the vendor site, you could put it here. So for example, accommodation type could have been, I don't know, king bed. Whatever rate code that they may have given you as far as on the site. Again, it's not mandatory. As you can see here, the red asterisks are the mandatory fields.
Gotcha.
So you don't have to fill this stuff out, but if you have it, cool. But if not, just make sure you have the mandatory fields in there. Same thing here. If you had a hotel contact, which you probably won't in most cases, because again, you're going through a vendor, you wouldn't need it. Now, this is the last part. So this is the hotel part, right? So this is what's going to fill in your res pricing screen. You know how we have your breakdown of how much it costs, taxes, your commission, all of that this is what's going to feed to it.
Correct.
So
I've only ever used Expedia Tap, and I may have used it. So I know what it looks like through Expedia Tap, and I just put the information here. But I think one of the questions was, how do we close it out when it's, let's say they give us all cash, that we're not billing? Like, so when you're doing a cruise, it's different.
right, because you need a card, right?
But cruises, they're paying installments, whereas when I'm selling a flight, they might pay it all up front, and then I need to zero out this deposit.
Yep, I'll show you how to do that. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So as soon as if they give you cash or they give you a card, whatever, and they're paying it in full, yeah, that's fine. Because right now, like I said, we're going to create it. So we'll just put something bogus in it. So the thing to remember about this screen, you see here, it says split price evenly by guest.
Right.
So we have 2 guests. So you're going to look at the total price of whatever that hotel room was from in this case, July 29th to the August 3rd. You're going to put the total price of what that was. The system will automatically split it for you between those two people. So for example, let's say it was, I don't know, say $1,000.
All right, let's make it simple. 1,000.
Yep. And then let's see, hotel tax. Wow, you don't really have to worry about it. It's deposit too. That'll split it up evenly between those 2 guests of 500 apiece. The commission percentage should be provided to you by the vendor that you're using.
Correct.
So, and then I know we have, and I know Caroline's working on it, like a breakdown on our CRE vendor list that will say for each vendor, here's a percentage, like a cheat sheet. I know
Well,
she's still working on it, but
that'll be an awesome cheat sheet because then you'll know who's paying out more.
right on that too. Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
I noticed when I was booking for Scotland that it had premium bookings. And so your commission was more on those.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yep.
tried to get her in a hotel that gave me more commission.
Yeah. European stuff is normally a lot more. Any additional tours you add to it when you're actually doing tours in Europe, all that stuff is gonna like blow the commission up. I've seen it go as high as like 20%.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's there. It's just a matter of you're building it out. But you're right. You gotta look for those sort of deals. Um, the other thing here is the deposit. So whatever the vendor said the deposit is needed to book it. Now, to your point, if they're paying it off in full, the deposit doesn't mean anything.
Right.
So you can just zero that out. There's no deposit because they're going to pay it in full as soon as you send them a quote.
So if they said they required 10% deposit, then that should be $100 there.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And the vendor site will tell you, like, you know how it is. Even on Expedia it tells you, you either pay it in full in Expedia tab, or you can do a payment plan and you have to put this much amount down.
That's for Expedia?
Expedia does it too.
Yeah, when you remember, I need a list of where, like even for European trips, of the ones that we can do payment plans on. And I remember you sending it out maybe 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I never used it, so I didn't. But now I'm thinking, heck, I should plan myself one and just start paying payments so I can go to Europe. But we need to learn how to do it so we can offer it. I don't know how to do it, so I don't offer it to my clients, but I'm sure there's many that would use it.
There's the best site for European trips is European Express. And I sent an email to how to register for it. I don't think I can set you up. You guys have to register under our CLIA or IATA number. So I'll find that site because that is the best because you can bundle everything. You can do hotels, airfare, trains, transportation. It does it all. And you can bundle it all together.
Perfect.
So European Express, I'll send you that as well. I'm taking a note down. I'll email it to you guys.
Thank you.
All right. And then the only other thing, like I said, this is more for you. You don't have to. Again, it's not mandatory fields, meaning the invoice description or the comments. Like if you wanted to say, hey, this customer has asthma, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Just a reminder to yourself, you could put it here. And you'll see that in AgentMate when you go to the different screens. Again, not mandatory, but it's here if you ever needed it.
Okay.
The other thing is single guest accounting invoice. So if you check this box, let's say, for example, you have two people going, but they don't want the other person to know how much they're paying, meaning they want separate invoices out of AgentMate. You can check this box. And so, for example, Roxy would get a separate invoice with just her information and her balance on it. Kevin Mays would get his invoice separately with just his balance and what's owed. That's it.
That's good to know because when we're doing cruises, on Mom's cruise with all those ladies, they all
Yeah.
wanted to we didn't know that. So it was creating one with all of them, and then they were fighting. Well, they were being, they were fighting.
Right. Or you could have a married couple, and they're like, I don't care, just send the invoice with all, total amount due for the cabin or the hotel to both of us. I don't care if both our names is on there. But if you have somebody who's single or a sister and another sister who don't like each other and they want to pay separate, then you just check this box. And every time you go to invoices, when you go to the reservation screen, then you'll be able to send separate invoices.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you leave it unchecked, both these folks are going to be on the invoice.
And also for training purposes, and I know I've only done it once or twice, but when you go in there and you say when you send it, you have to physically go into the system, print the invoice, and send it via email. It doesn't happen automatically.
Yeah,
Cause like when you say it and you think, oh, the system's doing it because like Roxy and you both have your emails in there. In the beginning, I thought the system was sending it. I didn't know I had to go in, and
right.
download the invoice to send it to them.
Yeah, and I'll show you that. You can send it from the system itself. It has reminders in the system to tell you when payments are coming due, final payments, all that good stuff.
Mhm.
The system will send automatically, like, thank you for booking. Final payments coming up due. Welcome back. All that stuff is automated in the system. But as far as like if someone's on a payment plan, you'll see, I'll show you on the front screen. It reminds you to say, hey, FYI, you're a guest. Um, they put down whatever deposit, whatever, but their payment is coming up due and you need to send an invoice.
Gotcha.
And you
Yeah.
can do it in batch. So for example, I got a group right now. There's like, what is it, 30 people on a cruise? I can go into the system and I'll show you under reports, and I can check all those individuals and it'll send an invoice to all those people just like that. I don't have to do it one by one. You can do it in a group, in a batch.
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to set mine up that way because I don't have it set up.
Yeah, it's set up. I just have to show you how to do it. It's set up that way. Yeah.
It's on the homepage.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. And I'll show you where that's at. So let's go ahead and create this. Now you have options on the bottom here. You can book them, meaning they're ready to book. So to your point, they're like, hey, I'm gonna pay this in full right now. Let's do it. Book it. Or you can have somebody just like, oh well, I'm on the fence. Can you kind of give me a quote so I can see what it looks like? Then you can just hit quote. You
Okay.
quote it. You can still invoice them, but then you can turn that quote into a book later, meaning you just change the status of it basically once once you do.
Once you see it under their name. Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of the times, like I said, I don't play. I just like everybody I deal with. Unless you're serious, I'm booking you right from the get-go. If need be,
Right.
I can cancel you out later. I don't normally use the quote option. I always book personally.
Yeah, because it's like it's
Yeah.
done
So
on. Now we want to get paid on it.
Yeah.
all right. So this one is booked. So this is what it looks like.
Okay.
So as you can see, I'll go to this res pricing screen. This is the section that you guys need to fill out. This is the part that I think the problem is.
Trish,
I'm here.
is this the one that you were searching for that day? And you kept saying, "How do I get back to it? How do I get back to it?" I didn't know where to send you. Is this it?
No, I've been here before. Some of mine are done right, I think.
You've done, I'm telling you, you've done them right. The only part that's been missing, I think, is either the payment wasn't posted to zero it out, meaning whatever cash or credit card payment they made needs to be applied in the system, because unless it's zeroed out, it's still looking at it as an open booking. So I can't, if commissions come in, I can't do anything because the payment still, oh, you still have an outstanding balance of $100, for example.
Right.
It has to be
I
zeroed
think I
out.
went back in and fixed a few of those the last time I was in here.
Mm-hmm. Like I
I
said,
don't
you're
know.
right there.
Called me, it's because they were still pending. That's when I said we need training.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so we can go ahead. I'm with you on this page.
Yeah. So now the booking's in there. So I'll just go through the different tabs just so you know. So now this is the res info screen. So it's going to tell you basically what we did, who the guests are, what the price is. See all of this. They're probably going to get an email, by the way. I should have done this in demo. It it's giving you all the reminders that are going to be coming up. It's going to give you the pricing, like I said here. So this is just like a snapshot. Think of it as a snapshot of everything that you book. So you can check it and make sure that it's right. If any changes need to be made, you can always edit it.
Okay.
You can edit here, you can edit here, depending on what information is incorrect. Client info is just that. It's bringing in historically, like I said, all their information. So see, there's her information there.
right.
So if anything needed to be updated, you can edit it. A phone number change, email changed, whatever, address, you can change it here. if they change their mind and said, hey, I want 3 people to go now, then you could go back to the vendor site, add that third person, and we'll have to come in here obviously and update the pricing because now it's changed because you have a third person. But here's where you can actually add, you can replace the person. They may have changed it to someone else. They may decide to go by themselves. You can remove someone, or you can add a new person right here. But again, most of the time you get it right the first time, so it's all good. But this is where you kind of see the guest information. Right. Now, you see these little radio buttons here on the top?
Uh-huh.
So this is where if you wanted to add additional information, you could. So what preferences do they have as far as for air or for cruising? You can fill this out. Again, the more you get on someone, the more information you have in the system. So
Right.
when they come back, you know what their likes and dislikes are. So here's your preferences here. Your loyalty numbers are, it could be for cruising, it could be for airfare, it could be for, you name it, all-inclusive resorts that they've, got royalty points on. You can add whatever loyalty number. So in this case, this is called, Carnival Cruises. So this is the VIFP number. And you already got it in the system. So that's good. So the next time when they do a Carnival cruise, you don't have to look it up in Carnival site, go CCL. You got it right here. You just plug it in, and whatever promos they qualify for, like a past guest or whatever the case is, you got the number right here instead of having to search for it or go back to the client.
Yeah.
And then to add another one, if they had a hotel loyalty card, you go up to new and then just add another one, right?
Yep, exactly. Exactly. So however many they have, you just want to go ahead and add it. So if it was hotel Marriott, I don't know, whatever it is, you can add it here and then you can add it. Yep, add as new.
Okay.
Your marketing, you don't really have to worry about. Now, the marketing piece for me, and we'll get there at some point. Like I said, I have what's called engagement set up in AgentMate, where all my past guests, I fill out all of this information. So, which is good. On this one, they have it. See? So because they've already done MSC, Carnival, Expedia Tap, anytime there's a promotion that comes out through Travel Leaders, if you're set up on engagement, Roxy's going to get an automatic email every month to say, hey, here's the latest promo or deal from these particular vendors.
We have to remember to tell them that it's coming from us. And I don't know, because I haven't gone in, Kevin. I haven't seen like the emails that auto-populate like this stuff. Does it have Amigos Unidos on it?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
your information. Yeah, because it's your client.
Yeah, because before it used to show Cree Travel for me. But I think you fixed it. And then I just never went back in and looked at it because Trish has been doing it. But
Yeah,
that's important because like my mother for Carnival, she'll go, oh, Carnival's sending me promotions. And I need to say, no, that's us. Because they think it's Carnival.
yeah, but it's going to be just like our invoice looks. I don't know if I have a sample of one. Maybe I could try to find one. But it's coming from Travel Leaders and all the promotion because they're tied into all the airlines, cruise lines, etc. So all that stuff is set up in the system. So it should look a little bit different to them. It wouldn't be like an email from Carnival. It would come from basically, we'll say from your email, but it would look a lot different as far as the different promos that they're offering because they consolidate it and send it in your behalf.
And then it tells them to contact their travel advisor.
Exactly. On the very bottom of it tells them contact your travel advisor. Exactly. If you're ready to book.
Gotcha.
Emergency contact, self-explanatory. If they have one, put them in here. That way you have it because you can always refer back to this. If, for example, like a Vacation Express or somebody wants an emergency contact, which they're good about, you'll have it in here. You can just plug it into, Vacation Express. Credit cards, very important. So, yep, if they've got multiple credit cards, add them. Because again, when they book the next time, you've already got it in the system. And when they come to you, say, hey, and you guys, and I'll show you this. They have like the book now, the pay now button on the invoices. But let's say they don't use it or they don't feel like using it or whatever, and they call you and say, hey, I want to use my American Express ending in blah, blah, blah. You've already got it in the system. You don't have to go back to them. You just like, hey, which card do you want to use? Your MasterCard, your Visa, or your American Express? You got it in the system already. And you can just post it yourself.
Yeah.
So the more cards you keep in here, the better. Attachments, this is blank because we haven't sent anything out as far as any invoices because it's new. We just created this reservation. But if we did and we had attached anything to it, it would be there. I honestly don't use attachments, to be honest with you. I simply use it for just invoicing, which I'll show you guys soon. And that's it. Attachments, I don't think you'll ever use, to be honest with you. Meaning, let's say, for example, somebody got travel insurance and they wanted you to, give them a copy of what the insurance covers, like a policy page.
Right.
You could add an attachment and that'd be part of the email.
Okay.
Typically, like I said, I don't use it out of here because normally I say, hey, all the information when we go to say, for example, Travel Guard, we can pull that information down and provide it to them. And they're going to get an email regardless because they're the primary contact. So they're going to get an email from the vendor anyway with the information. So you would never really use attachments. Communication is just that. So like any engagement stuff that goes out, any invoices that goes out will be listed here historically. So this is
Is that
good.
the picture of it over here where it says go to? Like that specific email that was mailed on February 2020 over here.
Mhm.
Yeah, is that the actual details of the email
Yes.
sent?
Yep. So this is good. So that looks like they're actually set up. See, so that was the promotion right there.
Okay.
So this is what they're getting with pictures. So they can see exactly what, so this is what they're gonna get.
You have to move it over. What do we have to move it over?
We have to.
Okay, so then that is from us.
Yes. So this is coming. Well, here's the thing. I'm not sure if you guys are set up for engagement. I have to look because this is the generic one. This is what it's going to look like, but it would have your information on the bottom to say,
Right. It should have our information because well, that's where I keep telling you. The ones that I've seen never has my information. And I'm like, well, it's giving them because the ladies that go with my mom, they'll call that and I'll lose because they go on other cruises. Am I right? Didn't Sue
Yeah.
just recently go on
Yep.
another one? And she's probably getting this stuff from us and she's thinking it's from the companies. And so then I know Sue and what's the other lady's name that went with mom? Jean. Jean goes on she's like cruising every
6
month.
a year at
At
least.
least 6. And I only got one of them when she goes with my mom.
right. But you know what I'm thinking though? I don't think you're set up on engagement because due to the fact here, email delivery results are 0.
Right.
Nothing's gone out for you in behalf of your company. I don't
And
think
so
you're set up on engagement. That's why I said what you saw was your generic copy of what would go out, but with your information on it. So I gotta look and see if you're set up for engagement. And I've sent those instructions. I'll resend them again. How to set it up in AgentMate.
Okay.
Because whoever you have in the system, as long as they have used the past vendor or have, certain forms of travel that they like, the system will automatically set them up to get emails. And what will happen is you will get an email, probably be to your amigos, to say, hey, do you want to participate in this particular promotion? And all you got to do is say, yep, send it to all my guests that's in the AgentMate, and they'll send it out every month.
Okay, I need to pay
So,
attention. You get
yeah,
that?
so I'll send the instructions for the engagement setup so that you can And if you need help, we can always regroup and then we can do it together to make sure you get it right. But there's certain steps you have to do to get it set up.
Okay, I'm
So
making.
I
a
will
note.
send that as well.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
because I think that's what I was trying to convey the last time because I remember talking to you about it. Because Mr. Carey, every time I would see him, he'd just come in my office and do it, so I never learned how.
Yeah. And I get it. I get it.
That's what that's what was going on, and then he passed, and then I'm like, wait a minute, now I'm lost. But anyway, yeah, we'll get it straight at some point because we are growing, we are
Yeah,
making sales.
exactly. It's not going anywhere. So we got time. So I just think baby steps, at least get you guys comfortable in filling out Agent Mate. And then we can work on how can we promote your company through Agent Mate, through engagement and promos. Yeah. All right. So the booking tab, again, you would never really use it. It's just a snapshot of this particular trip that we booked.
Okay.
So again, if they're diabetic, if they like early dining preferences, if transportation summary, if you wanted to actually on their invoice break down certain things, you can actually on the invoice, it will show their air schedule, like the connecting flights. It will show the car, like the rental car information. It will show the train information, transfer information. If you wanted to add that level of detail, you don't have to. But if you have a guest that likes, hey, I want to see all this on my invoice, blah, 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 you could come in here and you can add a breakdown of their flights or whatever the case may be, and it'll be on their invoice.
Okay.
But again, not necessary, but it's here if you want it. Now, res pricing, this is where I think we have to figure it out.
Yeah, we have to close them out because I even noticed in the front, if we don't close them out and say we received the payment, it remains there as an open.
Right. So regardless of what tab you're in on the top here, I'm going to show you. I'm going to go back to res info. You see on the bottom here?
Yeah.
Cash received from client. So on the bottom left, when you receive partial payments, full payment, whatever it is, this is where you go to post that money, to zero it out. Because right now, look, our client balance, which is right here, is a full $1,000. Because obviously because they haven't got a payment yet. But if you want to post that money, then you go here, the bottom left, receive, and you can just hover over it. It'll tell you what it means. Receive payment from client. You would click on that. And then takes you to the payment screen. Receive payment from client. Who did you receive it from? Did you get it from Roxy or did you get it from Kevin? Was it a credit card? Was it a check? Was it cash? Was it a prepaid deposit? You pick whatever it is.
I think this is where you're right.
I think I'm missing this page.
This is the page that Tricia
This is
missed.
it.
She has to write in that. Let's say let's make it easy. The $1,000 was owed and you paid me, Kevin paid me the $1,000. We need to put it in the applied, right?
Yep. So they came to you and they gave you cash in your hand and told me, hey, whatever, we'll do cash.
Okay.
Amount paid, they paid you $1,000 in cash, right?
Uh-huh.
Right here, you see unapplied amount, it's not going to apply to their invoice until you actually apply it here. So you put the payment amount that they gave you here. You come to the applied amount and you say, okay, yep, I'm confirming they gave me $1,000. Boom. Unapplied amount is zero, meaning
Now, just for training purposes, because I've always done it where they're paying in full. But this is where it would break it down. If we applied 500, they would have a remaining balance of 500, correct? And then you would see the line items on this page.
it would show you this is the payment screen. So this is only going to show you what they're paying at that moment in time.
Right, but so the where we see the history of the payments when they want it to see it all together in one
I'll
shot.
show you that. So let's make this 500.
Okay.
and we'll say cash. So once you do that, and here's the other thing that you can do. So let's say they paid a partial payment. Oh, I'm going to pay you 2 payments of $500. Roxy says she's going to pay everything, even for Kevin in this sample.
Right.
So right now, there you go. It's zeroed out. If I wanted to send Roxy an invoice,
Mhm.
see this little checkbox right here?
Okay,
As soon as I pay this money and I make sure that, of course, it got applied at the vendor site to make sure the card went through or the cash, well, which you would. In this case, it's cash. They gave you cash. So you know you got the money.
Mhm.
You can check this box. And as soon as you hit save, in AgentMate, it's going to post the money, the $500,
right.
and it's going to email Roxy an invoice showing she paid the $500.
Then that's what we're doing wrong, because all this time, I have not been doing that, Kevin. And then they would call me and go, I never get an invoice. And I remember this from 3 years ago, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. So what I was doing, you know how I was doing it? I was going into the emails that I was getting from the cruise, because I would get an email from them that payment was received, but I was never putting it in Agent Mate.
That's the thing. And that's what I have to tell everybody. And think about it. AgentMate has thought about doing it where they can actually connect to all the different vendors, but there's thousands of vendors. There's no way they could do it. So what you have to do is, and this is the mindset you have to have. I'm going to go to the vendor sites. So if I use Carnival or like I said, whoever you're using to book the client, you have to post everything in that site first. Make sure that the payments go through. And then you have to come to it sucks because it's manual, but you have to come
Right.
back to AgentMate and duplicate the same thing. What payments did I receive? What went through? And then I can invoice directly out of AgentMate. It's going to match what's on the vendor side, of course, but you're doing it in 2 places.
Right, and then I don't have to go in and physically wait for the emails from the vendor. It's
And
automatically going when I post it.
do it
When I
from AgentMate. I
apply.
do everything from AgentMate. As long as everything matches and I made sure I applied the payments, I can send an invoice from here. They can actually hit the pay now button when they're ready to pay again. As soon as that comes in to AgentMate, I'm like, okay, they sent me another $500. Now I'm going to go to Hilton. I'm going to apply the $500, make sure it goes through. I'm going to come back, which I'll show you in a little bit. I'll come back to AgentMate and I'll apply that $500. They're good. And then I can invoice them to show paid in full, zero balance.
Perfect. Jamie has one question. She wants to know where up above right now, it's not on the left
It was
corner.
on the, it was down in the lower.
Yeah, but
left,
it's
so-
up above right now. She wants to know what the V stands for. It says C, then V, then V and C on the bottom, like,
And then a money.
Right here,
yeah, what's that stand for each one?
it's the same thing I showed you. So this
One
is
You only
Okay.
showed us the first one, you didn't show us the rest.
yeah, well, I'm gonna say this is the one that was on the bottom that I showed you on the bottom left.
Right.
So this is the client payment.
Client
Okay.
payment, vendor
This is
payment.
the vendor?
This is a vendor payment.
Got you.
You
So
guys,
client-
I doubt very much you'll get vendor payments. Honestly, the only time that'd be more on our side. Like say, for example, the vendor messed up and they sent the company money on behalf of a client because they canceled a reservation or whatever the case is. Then
But
we
that's
would do
good
a
to know.
vendor
So
payment.
we shouldn't because it's not us. We should never go into V. We should
No,
always go into C.
always going to C. The only button you will ever use is client payment. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
And
Yeah.
that other, the small C is also payment, or is that something? That one there, the small one, yeah.
So this one's going out. So this one means it's going to the vendor, going to the client.
Oh, gotcha.
We wouldn't
That
do
would
that.
be me paying, like giving them a refund.
Yeah,
the client.
exactly. Yep. You messed up. You came out of your own pocket. They want to see an invoice showing that you paid them back for whatever mistake you made or the vendor made. And
Gotcha.
you can put it there. I can tell you 99.9% of the time, you guys will never use these.
Right.
That's going to be more at our level because we deal more with the vendors as far as any sort of discrepancies with with clients. You're only taking client payments.
Right.
So you would only use this one. That's it. So let me post this real quick. So if I wanted to post another payment, I could do that. they came back and said, you know what? Never mind. I just want to pay it off. I'm gonna pay the other $500.
Right.
You can hit that button and go through the same steps again.
How did you get to that square? What did you do? What did you hit to get there? Do it again.
So you have to go to save.
Ah, yeah, okay.
So here's the thing, like you guys were just asking. So look, here's the client payment,
Mhm.
received payment from vendor. That's what I use when you guys get your commissions in. You
Right,
never use this.
right. This
Client
first. client
disbursement
payment.
paid to client. You messed up, you paid them. They want to see on the invoice that you reimbursed them and their credit card is going to be reimbursed. That's what you would use this. What
Gotcha.
happened? And then
Yeah.
right here, if we had to disperse back to the vendor, oh, somebody canceled or you had so many cabins, you didn't release them and we're out that money and now we're going to charge back the company. It wouldn't be at the client level, it would be at the company level. So you guys would only use this one, payment received from client.
Gotcha.
That's it.
I didn't know that from before. But anyway, good to know. So then here you hit save and that's what caused that pop-up from before.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So when you put all this information in here,
Mhm.
see now it took it. $500 is left. So I would put in the amount, I would apply it. When I hit save, that's when that pop-up box shows up.
Gotcha.
So you can close it out. You already posted the money. There's nothing else for you to do. And then that's pretty much it. Now, to your point, as far as looking at the history. So I'm gonna go back to the reservation. So there's a lot of ways you can look at the history. Obviously, you can see it right here. Client balance, $500. Client paid, $500.
Right.
So there's your snapshot right there. That's one way you can do it. You can go to your invoice tab. It will tell you right here. There's the due date. That's the total amount, what they've paid so far, what their balance is so far.
Okay.
And I have the pay now button set up. So if I wanted to invoice this client for the last $500, then I could just go to preview. And this is on the invoice tab,
Okay.
preview invoice. And I use this, I'm telling you, I know people that use like other stuff to invoice their clients. It's just so much easier through the system, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah,
See,
it's here. Pay now
Kev-
button.
yeah, Kevin sent, because it was under yours, it says, see, mine would say Amigos Unidos.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Now I can choose, yeah, because I have more admin rights, so it's going to default to me. Well, I'm the one who booked it. It's under my name, right?
Right.
But it'll say
right.
your name, your logo, your information on the top, the guest information. Again, as much detail as you put here will be there. And like I was telling you, if you added like the airfare, if it was airfare, and you wanted to break down the connecting flights and all that stuff in that other screen I showed you, all that would be on this invoice as well.
Okay.
It gives you the payment history. So if you ever wanted to just take a peek to see what the payment history is, okay, today we posted cash. She paid $500, 500 left due on this date.
Okay.
When you send this to, and see on this top right, this has an email button right here. When you click that, then it automatically defaults to Roxy's email. It will have your information here.
Mhm.
And then it's already set for the default. You would just basically send it and it'll send her an invoice with the $500 payment that's still due. This is bookmarked. So because it'll have your information in there, all this will be your information, contact information.
Okay.
And then that's pretty much it. Once you hit send, she gets an invoice. Just like this.
Well, it's really it once you know how to work this system, it really is thorough.
It does it all for you. It does it all for you. And like I said, and then when you send this invoice and when they paid in full,
Mhm.
and then it looks at the dates. So when their trip's coming up, the day before they leave, they get a departure email. Depending on the scenario, it'll give them all the stuff, checklists, everything they need to do. Cruise, airline, whatever. please check in 24 hours before you know, the standard. When they return back, the day after they return back, they'll get a welcome back email. And then, hey, if you want any future business, it's a standard template. It gives them all the information with your information on there. Everything is automated through the system. The only thing that you have to do manually is send those invoices. So you know when the final payments are due. So if it's an individual booking or a group booking, doesn't matter. Like, you know the schedule. And what I normally do is, and I'll show you in a second, like if I have a group, I send it to the group in batch. All of them will get what you see on the screen. They're all gonna get an email with this attachment showing what their balance is, what's due, the due date. They can click on this pay now button, which I'll show you real quick, and they just fill it out. They fill this information out.
Oh.
It goes directly to Agent Mail.
That's even better.
Hang on. I lost him for a minute.
Right there.
There's my Zoom.
So
Gotcha.
that would send to them and they could submit their own payment.
Right.
They can submit it to you, right? And then when you log into Agent Mate, you'll see, and I'll show you on the main screen, it'll say, you know, payment received or action required. You go there and you'll see all the payments from your clients coming in and the amount that's needed, all that good stuff. So
So
what
when that
you
comes in, we gotta go in and apply it in Agent Made so it cancels out the balance.
exactly, but depending what vendor you're using, you want to make sure that payment goes through first. So for
Okay.
example, you did Expedia Tap. You're going to take the information that they gave you on this form. You're going to go to Expedia Tap and you're going to apply the payment. Make sure that payment goes through.
Right.
If that payment doesn't go through, then you decline it. And I'll show you. But this is what the guest sees. They're going to see this. They fill this out. What's going to happen is, and I'll show you. Ooh, hold on. I got too much stuff going on over here. To close this out. What's going to happen is here, and I think we have an example of one. See right here? Critical
Yeah.
notifications,
Yeah.
online payment in queue. So anytime you get a payment from any of your clients, it's going to be in this section right here.
Gotcha.
So what happens is I see everybody's, so I can see everything. So right now, here's a payment. Someone basically paid.
Is that your friend, Trish?
No, this is actually a group that we're working with Carol Ann on. This is
Oh, gotcha. I was gonna say,
so they're paying it off. So as you can see here, it says received or
Uh-huh.
declined. So if I go, this group is going to Dominican Republic, and we have them set up in Vacation Express for their vendor, for their rooms. So I'm going to go to Vacation Express. I'm going to take her credit card number, which is right here. Expiration date, she did mess up because she didn't provide the CVV.
Mhm.
So I can't do nothing with it. So we'll have to decline it. And I'll have to reach out to her and let her know, hey, I can't post a payment without the CVV.
Right.
So I would decline this one because I can't. I know when I go to Vacation Express, they're going to require it. But in a happy world, all this is filled out. I go to Vacation Express. I post the funds. Once it confirms in Vacation Express, I come here and I hit receive. I'm not going to do it because this is live.
Right.
And then I would just say, same thing like we did the client payment. It would be the same screen, the exact same screen. All right, I'm going to post $2,158. I'm going to zero it out. I'm going to, check the box that says send client an invoice, and they can see that they paid $2,158. And if they had a remaining balance, it would show on the invoice. So I do everything out of Agent Mate.
Yeah, we just need to do it all through, like you said, in one shot and hopefully get the payments in and then go back and apply the payments once they come in, if they break them down in payment.
Right, if they do. To your
Yeah.
point, if they paid in full, then fine. But regardless, every time they do come with a payment, just go to the bottom.
Reservation and go to C.
Oops, sorry, what was that?
Open the reservation info and then go to receive payment client payment.
Yep. You could do it from anywhere because honestly, any of these tabs, you're going to have that on your bottom left.
Right. So
So just whatever. Now, other thing that you guys need to remember is your commission. So the vendor's going to give you your commission amount. So make sure that that's in the system because again, that's what we're paying you from. So in this case, let's say, and if you don't have the percentage amount, it's okay. You can actually put a dollar amount of your commission right here. The percentage amount will change. I'm not worried about the commission percentage.
Right, you
I'm worried
need,
about the amount of commission that's due to you. So if you went to Expedia Tap and it says, hey, for this booking for Roxy, we're going to pay you $69 or make it simple, 30, $60.
right.
Then I'm going to go here, commission dollar amount. I'm going to say, all right, $30 here, $30 here,
Percentage, correct.
totaling $60. That's the commission that I expect to get for this particular booking. It's automatically going to calculate the percentage for you.
Mhm.
I could care less about the percentage. I care about the dollar amount. So you want to put in whatever commission amount you're going to get. If you want to put it under one person, that's fine. If you want to put it under two people and break it down in half, that's fine. It doesn't matter as long as the amount matches.
Right, because the customer doesn't see that anyway.
They're not going to see this. Only you
Right.
see it. Exactly. So I wouldn't focus on this. I would focus on this. So
Okay.
Expedia Tap tells you $60. You can put it on the one person. You can put it on, it doesn't really matter as long as it matches. Now, don't get me wrong. I've seen some cases where it's off by a penny or two. No big deal. I go in and fix it and I pay you out. I don't care.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it has to be here at least because if it's not here,
So we
then
don't
I'm trying to
know.
reconcile when I get my, because Expedia Tap is good, but they suck in the sense that they only pay out like every month. So it's
Well,
like,
I need to learn to go in. Expedia Tap for me, Trish and them guys need to really start using the other airline or whatever. I use Expedia Tap because it's easy and I'm rushing to get to the next.
yeah, and it's fine. You can use it because I just let you know that because they do it in cycles, they batch it together. So instead of them doing it every 2 weeks, they do it every month. So
Gotcha.
for example, if they departed, in this case, August 3rd, you're not going to see anything probably to September. September 3rd, because they're going to pay every 30 days after departure.
After departure, yeah. It's always, yeah, I'm glad you said that because Jamie's first time listening.
Yeah. So the only time that you will ever get your commissions up front, meaning before they depart, is typically what they call FIT. So it's like the single booking reservations on cruise lines. So for example, you guys took a cruise, you booked one cabin. You paid it off in full in July, but you're not actually cruising into August. The cruise lines will pay that off to the company to pay you guys out as soon as it's paid in full.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was based on departure.
No, and for FITs, like single bookings, they'll pay it as soon as it's paid in full. Now, if it
So
was a
did
group
we get
booking,
mom and them guys? When did mom? Because the only cruise we had this year was my mom, and I think she went in May. But I haven't seen anything because I think they're sitting in there. We haven't closed them out.
then
But
that's
probably
probably why we may have received it. And that's probably on my tracker because I keep a track of everything that came in and if it was paid out or not.
Yeah, because you called me and you said that I had several in there that there's issues with them. So now we got to go back and fix them.
Right. Now, not to be a butthole, but that's why I put in the procedure. Like I said, we've having to been like chasing down people like, hey, I don't see that it's, the payments have been zeroed out. I don't see the commission amount in there. If it's not fixed and agent made, the policy was because Kerry went through this where he was chasing people down to give them money. I'm like, you're not doing that because it's once you get used to it. Now, if you're new, we get it. I get it because you're learning how to use it. But after a while, it's kind of like, okay, post your payments, put your commissions in there. It doesn't have to be perfect because again, sometimes the commission could be off a penny or two, but if nothing's
Right.
in there and I got to chase you down to update agent mate to pay you out, like I said, after 30 days, we discount
Right.
10%.
After No, I knew that from before, but like I said, but I wasn't completing them because I didn't know I had that part, that, I think I know Trish, because Trish was asking me and my mind was blank, and I was like, I don't even remember. But the part for us is that closing it out. We're not closing them out.
Yeah.
We didn't know. We
If
didn't
you
really
can
know.
close them
And
out,
I don't know that she even knew when because I know she sat here in front of me and called agent made a couple times. But I think that was the key that we were missing. But
Yeah.
now that we've learned it,
Yeah.
there's no,
yeah, this is gonna be your best friend.
Yeah.
right?
Can
This
you
price
check
pricing.
one?
Trish wants you to check one of our reservations, I guess.
I'm concerned that I put it in Agent Mate twice.
Oh, okay. We can probably cancel it. So let's
Bloom.
go to reservation, find a reservation.
We want you to look up
Um,
Cornbloom.
They had flight and property.
Okay, what was the last name or first name?
It's Bloom. KORN as in Nancy. BLUM. There they are.
I'm assuming. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, but see, we have the air and we have the package. One of them was canceled, Trish. What happened there?
yeah. This is the one that I messaged you about. I said I see it in the system, but it's canceled.
Yeah, but it's not canceled because it's all paid and everything. They went.
They went to who canceled that?
Yeah, but you canceled it in the system, so it means that it's saying that they didn't depart.
That's why it hasn't paid out.
Yep. This has to be a departed status. If you're saying you canceled it, that means that the client or the vendor canceled the trip.
Okay, that might be when I thought I had done it twice.
Ah, gotcha.
That's why I wanted you to look at that particular one.
All right, so let's look at this one.
Go in and re-put it in to get paid.
Yeah, so for this one, let's do this. Go to next. I don't know if it's gonna let us, depending on when they departed, it may not let us resurrect it. Yeah, see, it's canceled. See, I can uncancel it. See the button right here?
Mhm.
So you can go to the cancel tab and you can uncancel it. Let's see what it does. And let's go back to
Yeah,
red.
and see, yeah, and this is the way too much right here.
Okay, so
It's in there
this
double
case,
somehow.
so
The balance, the 7458.
yeah, so they paid 7,458, but their balance is a negative.
Yeah,
So
but they didn't really pay that much.
It wasn't even, the fare wasn't even that.
It wasn't close to that.
How much was it?
Let me get a
I think
calculator.
it was half of that. Thing.
Um,
That's why she thinks it's duplicate.
Yeah, their total trip was 3,759 and 37 cents.
right. So I'll leave this one to you so you can practice. It's back open. So look, this is what we can do. So now that you know how we did it, you go to the
Mhm.
cancel button, you uncancel it, that brings it back up active in the system,
Right.
and then you can go to res pricing,
Okay.
and this is where you can change what happened. Yeah. So
But see there, are we looking at, and it's less.
yeah, but let's see something though. Hold on. So that's the other thing I haven't showed you. It's transactions tab. So transactions, let's see what was applied. See, so look.
Yep.
See all these payments? So
That's what I thought.
yeah,
And see, when I hit canceled, I guess that's what I thought I was doing.
yeah. So you don't want to cancel the reservation. You want to keep it active. But what you want to do is go to the transaction tab and you can edit anything that you messed up. Right. So for example, if I go here, see, I can change that information. The payment date, the payment amount, and then I can save it. Or if it was posted in error, I can reverse it out totally. Meaning, oh, I posted in an error, it shouldn't even be applied.
Okay.
But in this case, because it was too much, we would just update the amounts, hit save, and then it'll update the general ledger.
Okay. So we just want to make
One payment
one payment.
of
Right.
that amount.
So let me go, let me see. So
Yeah, it was 37.29.20 was collected by TAP, and they said $30.17 was due at the property.
all right.
So
So look at these on the 15th. 1, 2.
and you see, you can tell when I was back in here in May looking at it and tried to fix it.
Right.
But technically, the payment came in on February 15th.
The May one needs no.
All the rest
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one doesn't even need to be here.
Right.
You reverse
So
it
we're
out.
going to reverse it.
All right. Now we're down to
That's the correct balance.
Okay, but we need,
Still credited.
yeah, there's
let's
still a
see.
credit in
Yeah,
there
let's
somewhere.
see, because it may be another payment. Now here's the thing.
That one
because-
should be all one person, not split into two.
Gotcha. So this payment, this is what they truly paid, right?
Correct.
Okay. So let's see. So let's look and see what risk person has.
Okay, so that's okay.
So see, look at our balance. We only had $1,000. That's why it's negative. We paid more than we have for the trip.
Gotcha. So that's, it had been divided.
Yeah. So this is where you would have to put in the amount split between the two people or one person. It doesn't matter. So I don't know if you have that handy, but this is where we'd have to update it.
Right, it's right here. So I think that was the divided in half price.
And then
Okay.
under Ayala, you have to put the 1,034.15, yeah. And then it should give us the correct.
Go back to res info. We're still no, because Bob, think about it. That's only $2,000. They paid 3,700.
Yeah, I don't know where that number came from.
Yeah, so we just have to make this match. So we
Oh,
could
I know
split-
what that was. That's just the property. So I see what Okay, so I've got like the airfare was $13.22.60 per person. And then I had the hotel, and then
And
I
this is the
had a
hotel.
transport.
and this
so the
and this is
hotel
the
is the-
hotel that's here right now.
Yep, that's the
Okay.
30, the 1034.15 that you have there. That's for the hotel only.
Okay, so here's a good example of what you would do to correct it. So
Okay.
here's your vacation package for Expedia, hotel only. And this is good because you had all this information in here. If you're providing multiple sources of, service,
Mm-hmm.
that's where you hit new.
Okay.
From here, then you can add the air.
Okay.
Then you can add the insurance, whatever it is.
And the tour.
The transfer and everything.
Right, you can break
Okay,
it
so it
down.
was, I'll just add them together real quick for you and we'll just do it so I can make sure it's right.
Do you know what airline it was?
Yep. I have a reservation right in front of me. Isn't it TAP? TAP? Yep, TAP Portugal.
I'll just put anything in here for now, just to get it in here. And then what was the price per person?
1322.60.
Per person?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's that.
And it
Save.
said the commission was
Oh, I gotta do the gateway.
13.
Let me. What was the where'd they leave from?
Miami. MIA.
I don't know if I have to type it out. I'm trying to remember. I think I just can. All right. So now you have your hotel and airfare. Let's see what we're looking at now. So they still have a balance.
No, she did car and she also did tours.
No, just one car. They didn't do, they had their own tours.
Oh,
Okay.
But I think what the problem is right here. We only need one of the 1034.15s because that was the package property. For both of them, that was the cost.
Yeah, you need to just remove one of those,
Yeah, make that 0.
yeah.
All right.
There you go. And then that's a transfer.
The
Okay.
49.85 is the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
49.85's car. So we go to new. We'll do car rental.
Hotel transfer.
Oh, it's a hotel transfer?
Yeah, airport to hotel round trip. And that vendor. M as in Mary, TS Globe.
Yeah.
There you go.
Don't worry about that for now.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be required, but let's see. So you said it was 40, what was it, 49.85?
49.85.
So here you put 49.85. We'll just put it on, well,
85.
85, sorry. I'll zero them out.
Sorry, Kevin, what you doing?
It's okay. All right, so I'll just put it on one person. So let's see where we're at now. All right, so now you're good. So your client has a 0 balance. That's what they paid.
Okay.
When I get commission in, now here's the other thing about
Yeah, the commission on the car.
Right. So you're going to go to the area where you get the commission on. So, for example, when you use Expedia Tap, probably for most of this.
Yes.
Yeah. So you want to, whatever commission breakdown that they gave you when you were in Expedia Tap, you want to put that amount per
Right.
scenario. So
That's correct.
okay, so that's fine. Any commission on
And
the air?
it was $66.13 per person. $66.13.
Oops. Yep. Okay. And then I'll save it.
Yep, for the car. And you have to save it after each one. Okay.
Yeah, I would save it just to be safe. Yeah, on
Right.
each transaction.
And the
Okay,
car
for the
was
car.
a whopping $2.49.
Woo, 249. Total?
Yeah.
Okay. Save. So now when you go back to res, this is what I would expect to get back from the vendor. Total commission.
Okay.
So now when the commission does come in and I come in here and I reconcile, like, okay, Expedia send me a check for whatever, then I will go to, and they'll give me the reservation number. That's why it's very important that in here,
You corrected the reservation
Mhm.
number. So that-
yeah, they have to be in there because that's what I'm gonna, when I go in here, I'm gonna go to the reservation tab. I'm gonna search reservations and I'm gonna look it up by the reservation number that you list right here, which you did on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So perfect. So that'll be the Expedia number that I get on the confirmation.
Right.
Wouldn't it be the same for the air? Or is
And
it-
and
It's the
whatever-
same all the way through.
It's the
yeah.
same all the way through.
And yeah, and when I get the invoice, we'll break it down. That will break down these 3 transactions for that reservation number. And it should match the commission amount that you have in the system.
Right.
And that's pretty much it. And once
Okay.
I
So I had done it right, just did it too many times. Now
yeah, you did it right.
go
You
back
said
to
you were
that
right there.
transaction page for me.
Transaction.
And how do we get all these out of here?
So it's fine now, only because we reversed this one. These all it's just saying is that we edited these amounts.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now, when we go back to here, because we changed all of the risk pricing information, it
Right.
balanced out now.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So this one is what it should look like.
Okay. hang on a minute. I'm gonna get a screenshot.
Yeah, so remember, the main thing is put the exact amount from the vendor site, put the commission amount from the vendor site, make sure that all payments are posted that you receive from the client, and then you're good. You're good. Because then, like I said, when it comes in, everything's gonna gel. And like I said, if it's off by a penny or two, who cares? As long as it's in there, because I'll just change it to the correct commission amount that was received.
Okay,
And then most of the time it matches, but you just never know, like, it could be a rounding issue or something like that.
okay. So what
Oh.
I did is I went through and printed out everything from Expedia Tap on all of our reservations. And I will go back through now and make sure that they're all in Agent Mate correctly.
Yep. And then once you do that, just text me or email me, whatever, and just say, hey, I fixed these reservation numbers. You can give me the
Like I said, the only one that I've only received payment on one, so all of them have to be corrected that are in there.
Right.
I don't even know how many there are, Trish knows, but, I only received that one of the 30.
Yeah, we had like $10,000 in sales. So
Right. But, yeah, so you're gonna have to go in and
I
correct.
just
all
got to
of
get them in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, so like I said, typically, like I said, we would say, hey, it's been too long, whatever. But if you guys can fix it, because again, I'm not blaming you guys. It was a training thing, and I get it. So if you can get them in there, we'll pay them out.
Okay.
yeah,
Yep, we'll pay them
Appreciate
out.
that.
And then
And
going forward, now you guys know exactly what needs to be done between all these different tabs.
right.
got
And,
it.
and if you forget, or honestly, like you're in the middle of something, you're like, hey, I'm stuck on this part, just text me and we can just walk through it real quick. But honestly, I think once you fix the ones that you're gonna go back and do,
Hmm.
you'll have it. You're done.
Okay.
It's simple.
Yeah, and I think that res pricing for me, I know I've seen it, I know Carrie walked me through it when I did my first cruise. But I didn't know that I could correct from there, and I didn't know that I had to list each line item by
On the top.
type.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
didn't know
you
that
do.
part at all.
Now, if you want to take a shortcut, and again, at the end of the day, as long as it matches, it matches. If you wanted to put everything on the vacation package
And one, so,
and
yeah,
put the total amount of the car, the transfers, and all of that, that's
right,
fine too. You could do that too. As long as this matches the total amount that the client paid or should have paid.
and the commission,
All the payments have been paid from the
Right.
client and it's zeroed out, and the commissions are all added together to match what you should get from Expedia.
okay,
So it's totally up to you. Now on the invoice, again, it depends on your client. They may want to see everything broken down. So for example, we go to invoice now and I go to preview invoice. See,
Yeah.
I'll use your information. Um,
yeah, because we could give that to them as their invoice, because we never did it,
Yeah.
Trish.
Yeah. Well, what I ended up doing was printing out something directly from Expedia Tap.
Right, but we don't want to be, that's the thing that I want to avoid, because
Right.
then they go to Expedia Tap and they eliminate us.
Well, they can't.
No, for the next time.
They can't go to Expedia Tap.
Well, they can go to Expedia.
Yeah.
they go to Expedia. Yeah, they go to Expedia and just override you. Yeah, they could.
Yeah, so
Because
that's what, I want to see them have an invoice with my logo on it.
Right.
So that they know it's legit, it's coming through. And, they need to come back here for the next one.
yeah, so you can
Yeah.
see it now.
Now
It's
this one
broken
has
down.
your logo.
Correct, that's
Yeah.
because come and fix it, because before it used to say Crete, and even my mom's friend they would go, who's Crete?
Yeah, that's been fixed. Yeah, so we fixed all that for each agent. The only thing that we kept on here, because under
Is
the
your
affiliate,
website, yeah.
you'll see
But
the
they can go on the
website.
website and still find us.
Yeah, but they still have your email. They have all your contact information. This is like standard stuff down here. But basically, yeah, here's your breakdown. So it breaks down vacation package here, transfers. They know what they paid for each thing per person.
Okay.
And you can see now is zero balanced out.
Very nice.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right.
So,
We'll work on getting these done tomorrow.
yep, no worries. But
Well, I'm going out of town on Thursday, so I want it done before I go because where I go, there's no internet. So
I'm just taking down a note of the stuff I owe you. I'll try to get it to you tonight. If not, I promise you I'll get it to you tomorrow.
You're fine, Kevin, because I'm going home. I'm still in my office sitting. From here, we're all going home.
Yeah, I
And then
got
I
it.
have,
Got
yeah,
it.
Jamie has an hour to Okeechobee and I have a half hour. Trish has probably the same. But anyway, it's been our pleasure as usual. Looking
Yep.
forward to the fam. Are we having any meetings coming up?
Yes, I think I had it set up for next week, if I remember right. But I'll send reminders via email.
Okay,
Yeah. The other thing that you guys will notice, latest news, I normally have it right here,
uh-huh.
the next training.
Oh, I see.
I put it in the latest news. I just haven't updated it yet, but typically it'll be right here to tell you
Okay.
the next
Yeah.
anything that's coming up as far as our touch bases, vendor training, whatever will be in the latest news.
Or sending her to you.
Yeah, my sister said you better go in and cancel that with Roxy on it, because she'll be calling us tomorrow. We'll go, nope, go to Kevin.
She wants to know who the man is going with her.
$500.
And who is going on?
Yeah, I'll cancel that right now. But just let her know we were just playing around.
Yes, no, I thought it was our training, but.
Yeah, just let her know. But one last thing, just so you guys know, this current lead section, see all
Uh-huh.
these reminders?
Yes,
So this is the schedule. See, it tells you right here, final payment email is gonna go out for these people. Final payment, it tells you.
I have to go in and manually take them out, right?
You do once you do it. So for example, if you didn't want to add a gift to this particular person, you can go to their edit reminders and you could just close it out. You can just complete it if you're not going to do it.
Okay,
You can put a comment here, decided not to give a gift, whatever.
And just what is like add a gift?
So we have it set up in a system for like cruises where, somebody may have like a anniversary or wedding or whatever. And it just gives you a reminder like, hey, do you want to give your client a gift on the company or on yourself or whatever? You can do that. And it's just, customer service. You don't have to do it, but it at least reminds you to say, hey, if you have the option to do it, here's a reminder that you could do a follow-up and set it up for them in the
right,
calendar.
so this is the reminder that we get, but what do you guys typically do? That's what Trish is asking, because we don't, I've had some guy say, hey, my previous agent used to give us a gift. Remember, Trish?
Right.
He said that to us and I was like, oh, well, what should I give? I have no idea. What do you guys typically do in the industry?
It depends on the client. So the examples that I gave, like it's their anniversary. Maybe I'll decorate their room for $50. It's like 40 something dollars, I think, to decorate the room in, confetti and balloons. Maybe they
Gotcha.
want a bottle of wine. Maybe they want an extra onboard credit. Maybe they want, it just depends. But
But you would seek that from the cruise and they would do it, you just have to pay for it.
yes. Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. So for some of my clients, like I said, they come to me because I always put a little something in their room for them.
Yeah.
And, it just depends. So you could go to the actual site. Carnival has, their gift shop. MSC has it. Royal, they all have it. Where you can actually log in, go in the back office, and you can actually pick a gift for them and add it to their room. And you
Okay.
can set up a message for them, a card, the day that you want it to arrive to the room, if you want it to arrive to the dining table, whatever you want to do. It really just depends on the person, what
And
they're.
if they're not cruising and they're just going, did hotels do it too?
Hotels do it too. Most of the time, what you have to do with hotels, you have to give them a call and say, hey, I'm a travel agent. I booked this, whatever, and I want to put XYZ in this person's room. Can you help me out? And then they'll typically do it. On the cruise lines, it's easy because you can do it online. For the hotels, you have to call them.
Okay.
If you're dealing with a resort, all-inclusive resort, it's the same concept. You normally have like a lead on a group that you're dealing with. And you be like, hey, I want to put in the lead's cabin roses. What do I need to do to get it taken care of? They'll send you a payment invoice, you pay it, and then they set it up for you.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it just depends on the form of travel.
Well, no, it's good to know that that's the practice.
Yeah.
We
And
don't-
like I said, you don't have to do it, but a lot of times if you got somebody that's coming back to you a lot of times, throw something in the room, they're going to keep coming back.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Every little thing counts.
Yeah, so we scratched the surface on that piece. There's a lot of other things in here that we could probably do a second session on in regards to invoicing in batch. You know how to do it at the individual level. You just go to the invoice tab and hit email and send it.
Right,
But through reports, you can actually do it through batches, pending and final payment invoices. So if you have a group going, you could pick those 10 rooms, 10 people, whatever, and you can send it in batch.
okay,
We haven't gone through agent mate or cruise complete yet. We'll do that next time. So you guys can
Sure.
learn how to do that, where you can actually learn how to use the tools that are in here for you. But we'll go through
Can I
that in
set up
another
a big,
discussion.
big group with all of us, or we can do it on just my agents? However, I don't know when
We-
you have
We could
time.
do no, because we could do it with just you guys. It that way you get the attention and you can ask all the questions you want. Um, because again, a lot of these guys have gone through this training because again, the cruise complete training is already out there through travel leaders. You guys should have emails, or
Yeah.
Steph, you should have emails from them telling you
Right,
how to, training sessions or webinars or recorded sessions, all that stuff. But if you want to do it personally, then like I said, we could do it ourselves and I could show you hands on how it works.
okay,
Yeah, just let me know.
I will. I appreciate your time. Thank you, Kevin.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, you guys have a good night. If you need anything, just give me a call.
Thank you, you too.
Okay, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye bye.
That's Richard.